Ah, love. That thing that makes you swoon, thinking you're in paradise. Butterflies in your stomach, right? Well, before you go skipping around, hold up. That excitement, the urge to shout to the world how in love you are, could be your own death sentence. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I'm talking about the game of seduction. Let's get straight to the point. Showing too much interest isn't just shooting yourself in the foot. It's like a flashing neon sign saying, "Use me and abuse me. I have zero mystery, and I'm here begging for attention." If you want to maintain even a shred of dignity, and maybe get some reciprocity, keep that excitement in check. Hitting the brakes is the only way to stay in the game. So, wake up and understand why acting desperate is the trap so many people fall into without a second thought. Let's get straight to it. Number 1, the cost of desperation. Sit down. Let's be real, face to face. Have you ever seen someone look irresistible while acting like their life depends on someone else's attention? Of course not, right? Desperation is a serious social repellent. It's like those insect sprays that drive everything away. And the irony, the more you make it clear how fascinated you are, the more you become an emotional scarecrow. The other person starts thinking you might be about as interesting as a crumpled flyer on the sidewalk. If you're that easy, what's your value? Where's the challenge? The mystery? And here's a spoiler. A real-life spoiler. People who have interesting lives, full of plans, dreams, and goals, are infinitely more attractive. Those people so busy enjoying their own lives that they hardly have time for a shallow romance. But when you act like your routine revolves around being noticed, not only do you push people away, you devalue yourself. It's like posting a huge sign saying, "I have nothing better to do than obsess over someone who, honestly, isn't even that interested in me." And do you know the cost of desperation? A massive bill for personal devaluation. The more you beg for attention, the more obvious it becomes that you don't have much else going on. It's like saying, "Look, I'm so empty, so unfocused, that my purpose now is to wait for a text from you." It's tragic, it's pathetic, and above all, it's the sure way to scare off any potential for reciprocation. If you think you're the only one who's ever felt this way, you're wrong. Desperation is a part of life for many people, but here's the difference. Some realize early on that they need to get their own lives on track, while others continue down the needy path, making the same mistake over and over. Want to attract someone? Stop acting like a die-hard fan and start acting like someone with so much value and interests of their own that the other person will have to fight for your attention. So, if you want to be even a little attractive, get this once and for all. Attraction isn't about being easy. It's in the mystery, the confidence, the focus on yourself. No one wants to be with someone whose only purpose is to live for validation. Number 2, you become the sure thing at the wrong time. Let's be very clear here. Did you know that nobody, absolutely nobody, is attracted to what comes easily? Humans, these complex, somewhat masochistic creatures, love what they don't have and throw away what comes effortlessly. We're like magnets for things that are hard to reach and automatic repellents for whatever just falls into our laps. So here's a reality check. When you show too much interest, you stop being an intriguing mystery and become an open book no one's curious enough to read. The thrill, the excitement of conquest, it all vanishes in an instant. Do you think that always being available is a show of affection, a way of saying, "I'm here for you"? Actually, it's just the quickest way to boredom. Because yes, boredom is the biggest enemy of attraction. It's not that the other person doesn't like you. It's that too much availability kills the game. Want an example? It's like being that 24-hour diner, always there, anytime, for anyone. Zero novelty, zero excitement. The reality is, people don't want the guaranteed. They want the unexpected, the uncertain, the suspenseful. You, always available, are practically screaming, "Hey, I'm the safe place. You don't have to do a thing. I'll always be here." Congratulations, you've just become a sure thing. And do you know what people do with sure things? They ignore them, because a sure thing is the opposite of desire. It's the enemy of that burning desire that drives seduction. When you become the sure thing at the wrong time, you automatically lose points. Your availability stops being attractive and becomes predictable. And let me tell you, predictability in a relationship is equal to the slow death of passion. It's almost a public service for how to kill the chemistry between two people. After all, there's nothing less attractive than knowing the other person is always there, just waiting. It feels more like an obligation than a choice. So, want to avoid this mistake? Learn to balance your presence. Be a surprise, not something anyone can grab off the shelf without effort. Seduction is a game that requires patience, timing, and a little bit of mystery. Let the other person wonder. Question if they'll see you or not. Let their imagination work. If you want to be desired, then never be the sure thing at the wrong time. Let uncertainty make you the object of desire, not the comfort that's easily within reach. Number 3, goodbye mystery. Here's a golden rule that a lot of people seem to forget. Less is more. And honestly, in the game of seduction, this is nearly a universal law. But it seems like you decided to do the opposite and lay everything out on the table, as if this is some kind of fast pass to win the other person over. So I have to ask, where's the mystery? Where's that little taste of wanting to know more? When you lay all your interest out on the table from the start, you're basically throwing away the only element that keeps the other person even a little intrigued. You don't just become an open book. You're an open book with highlighter marks all over it, with no blank page left to spark curiosity. Want to know what actually makes someone want to get closer? That slight feeling of, are they into me, or am I just imagining things? That suspense is the fuel of desire. But when you put everything out there, with nothing left to discover, you end up losing all the fun. It's like giving away the movie's entire plot in the trailer. After that, who even wants to watch it? Being fascinating isn't about saying, look, I'm 100% yours, always here, completely available. Fascination is knowing when to step back, to let the other person wonder. Because if you want the truth, no one wants a romance without twists, without that little thrill. When you're an open book, you're also a boring story. After all, what's left to explore when everything is already on the table? So, want some advice? Learn to hold back. The art of seduction isn't about what you show, it's about what you keep to yourself. Be a little enigmatic, hold a few cards close to your chest. You don't need to make the other person understand what's going on in your head from the start. Sometimes silence and a distant look say much more than a direct, obvious statement. Being fascinating means leaving the other person with questions, with a desire to come back, to learn more. Because no one, I repeat, no one wants a story without plot twists. Number 4, the formula for self-annulment. Let's get straight to it. Showing too much interest is basically a recipe for becoming insignificant. It's the same as making the other person's needs your absolute priority, as if your life were an endless customer service line for their emotional needs. And let's face it, who finds it attractive to be with someone who's always in yes ma'am mode? No one. When you're so focused on pleasing someone else, you start to disappear. It's like putting your own sparkle on a shelf and letting it gather dust in the forgotten corner. Think I'm exaggerating? Then think again. Those who are obsessed with pleasing end up letting go of everything. Hobbies, dreams, wishes, and most importantly, their identity. You become a pale reflection of someone else's desires. And you know what happens? The other person stops seeing you as someone with their own personality. You just become a shadow, a mirror reflecting what they want to see. And that's where respect exits without even saying goodbye. Because believe me, nobody can respect someone who doesn't respect themselves. Want a practical example? Let's say you love spending time alone, doing your own thing, having your own moments. But suddenly, all of that goes out the window. Because now your schedule is all about being available for someone else. It's the old dilemma. You're so worried about being perfect for the other person that you forget to be real. And authenticity, my friend, is the foundation of any relationship that's not doomed to be superficial. Because being a puppet in someone else's hands serves only one purpose, turning you into a disposable accessory, someone easy to replace when boredom sets in. So, remember this, No one wants to be with someone who nullifies themselves. Attraction isn't about submission. It's about strength, authenticity, knowing who you are and what you want from life. People with personalities, with a vision, with their own desires, they're the fascinating ones. When you show that you value yourself, that your life has purpose with or without someone else, you automatically become more attractive. If you want to be valued, first, you have to value yourself. Stop getting lost trying to please. Reclaim your essence, your priorities, and learn to say no when necessary. After all, your life isn't a stage for someone else to direct, and you're not a secondary character in someone else's show. Number 5, the game of perceived value. Here's the harsh truth. People value what has value. End of story. Whether they like it or not, that's reality. If you're always there, giving attention without any mystery, you're practically shouting to the world that you're not worth the effort. Simple as that. Because let's face it, who values what comes easy? No one. What's handed over on a silver platter loses its sparkle, becomes routine, a bore. Are you trying too hard? Giving it all? Then get ready. The other person will see you as a free service, a product on sale. Nothing anyone wastes time trying to earn, and there's no point thinking this is an exaggeration. When you put yourself in the position of someone who gives everything without expecting anything, who's always available, the message you're sending is clear. I'm not that great. And yes, that hurts to hear, but sometimes you need a wake-up call to see that you're taking yourself out of the game. Because anyone who wants to be desired, who wants to be admired, has to see themselves as worth it first. Let's be clear, being a reward and not a giveaway is what turns a boring flirt into a real connection. No, you don't need to be unreachable 24/7. No one's saying you have to be a never-ending game, but know when to step back, when to put yourself on that pedestal. Value is perceived, yes, and perception starts with how you see yourself and how you behave. So, listen up. Want to be someone the other person truly desires? Stop offering yourself like a discount item. Learn to make the other person work a bit, to question, to wonder. Nobody values a prize they didn't have to earn. When you start seeing yourself as a reward, when you stop throwing yourself at someone's feet, that's when you start being seen as something worth winning. What are you waiting for? Step out of the bargain bin and show yourself as someone only those who understand value can appreciate. That's the game of perceived value. Play it, or keep being just another option no one's bothered to choose. Showing too much interest is like walking around with a caution wet floor sign. People look, step aside, and if they do come close, it's only to slip up and run. No one wants to walk where it's too easy, where the adventure died before it even started. If you truly want to attract someone, you need to learn to control that urge to lay it all out, to pull back that "I'm so into you" vibe a bit, and most importantly, to remember one essential thing. Your value isn't in how much you give of yourself, but in how much you respect yourself. Being interesting, keeping that mystery alive, has nothing to do with manipulation. Manipulation is for those who aren't confident enough to be straightforward, who rely on tricks to hold attention. No, this is about self-respect, about understanding that your value is the most powerful card you hold in this game. Because attraction is like a good chess match. Every move matters. If all you make are obvious plays, if you hand over all your pieces without challenge, then forget about a checkmate. You'll lose the game before you even get a chance. So, take a deep breath and take a few steps back. Think carefully before you make someone else the center of your world. Leave a little mystery in the air. Let the other person wonder a bit. Break the habit of being infinitely available. In the end, the right person will want to be with you for who you are, for your worth, not because you're an easy and guaranteed option. Now, the question is, are you ready to finally reclaim a bit of that "I couldn't care less" energy you let slip away? Because your value, your dignity, are waiting for you to wake up to this. If you stop trying to impress at all costs and focus on prioritizing yourself, rest assured, anyone who truly wants to stay will be there for you, not for the idea of always having someone on standby. And now, are you ready to put this game into practice? Trust me, your value will thank you for it.